Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are back today for some more Formula 1 22 driver career mode here in season 3. Before I get into anything, I just wanted to apologize for the lack of uploads in the last week or so. As you guys can see, I'm in a new room because I had to move my stuff from college back home. So we are back now, and I'm excited to get into some more Formula 1 driver career mode. In this season, we are 17 points in front of Sergio Perez at the moment, again with 4 races left to go, and then after that Lando Norris is behind us by quite a few more points. He currently has 90 points up on the board, so we definitely need to keep the performance up here, try to win this race. And I love COTA, just not in the rain. Last season we had rain, and that is why it is on the schedule once again, because I want to try and win this race in the dry weather. And we get a pretty good start here in COTA after our first flyer. We initially shoot up into P3, but then after everyone puts out their laps, we drop down into P7. But as you just saw, our fuel load was very high, and I don't know why it's that high. Usually it's maybe 4 or 5 ticks from the lowest fuel mode, but that time it was like a bunch. So this time we got the low fuel mode going, and we're already up pretty much a 10th after the first turn here. Verstappen up in P5. We need to be careful with that because Red Bull is currently in front of us in the Constructors' Championship, so preferably we would like both of them to start behind Charles Leclerc and myself. The Alpines, who are having a pretty good season, currently in P6 and P9 for Sainz and Ocon, and George Russell currently in P3 at the moment for Mercedes, who is currently battling McLaren for P3 in the Constructors' Championship. They're only a few points behind, and honestly I think they'll be able to pull it off because Schwartzman hasn't really been performing that great for McLaren. He has like minimal amount of points. At the same time though, Lewis Hamilton hasn't been performing that well either, but he has been performing better than Robert Schwartzman, so it probably will be enough to get them into P3. But into the final turn here on our final flyer, we are going to improve by nearly 8 tenths, and that just shows the huge difference that the fuel load makes on the car. But it's only going to be a P2 as Lando Norris takes pole by 1.5 tenths, and then George Russell, he's going to start in P3. Robert Schwartzman with a surprise in qualifying as well. I was just kind of trash talking him. He's in P4. The good news is that both Red Bulls are behind us, so that's going to help us out trying to gain this lead in the Constructors' Championship. But let's get into this race and let's see what we could do here at COTA. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the American Grand Prix, and I just want to say that I literally put this on the schedule for the sole purpose of having a dry race in Texas, because last season we had the race on full wet and it is raining again. So whatever, I guess it'll be on the schedule next season. But we are starting in P2 after a pretty good qualifying. The good news is that Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, who we are chasing down in the Constructors' Championship and trying to keep the lead in the Drivers' Championship from, they are starting in like P8, I think. Sergio Perez qualified a little bit higher than Max Verstappen, if I'm not mistaken, but you guys can see on the grid cam here. But let's get on the grid. Let's see what we can do here in the intermediates. If we're lucky, we might get a little bit of dry weather towards the end of the race here. All right, here we go for the American Grand Prix. We got 5 red lights, and this race is underway. And Lando Norris looks to cover us off. We got a pretty good start here. Trying to avoid contact with Lando Norris. Tight through turn 1. A little bit of a spin. Russell overtakes us. Charles Leclerc, our own teammate, right behind us. I haven't had too much practice here in the wet, so it's going to take me a lap or two to kind of get used to the grip that we have out here. It's pretty rainy right now. And we are all over the place on this opening lap here in Sector 1. Hopefully, through the next sector here, we can get up the grips with the car. And we're kind of holding up Charles Leclerc right now. Oh my goodness. So Alex Albon has gone into an incident. He's out of the session. I don't think anyone else is out of the session right now. He might have bumped into his teammate, but we have a safety car coming out. And this will give us another chance here to try and catch up with the leaders. George Russell, where is he? Where's George Russell? Is George Russell out of the session too? I see him parked there on the side, at the penultimate corner. He might be out of the session. Where is he? So after looking in the race director menu, George Russell is out of the session with a mechanical failure. And then Nicholas Latifi and Alexander Albon are out of the session. They collided with each other. So we move up into P2. We're going to have a chance here to get P1. We need a good run off the reset here. And this might give us a little bit more time if there is dry weather coming to pit and go on to dry tires. But obviously we have to do that strategically, as we don't want to lose track position, similar to, I think, what happened last year, if I'm not mistaken. We might have gotten some dry racing in the last race, or if not, we were very keen on what the weather updates were. But we caught up with the bunch here, so let's get these laps in and get this race reset here.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Alright, so Mark is suggesting that we pit for soft tires. We're going to do that right on the reset here. We might lose a few positions, but let's see what Lando does. He's kind of holding up the pack here. Alright, so Lando is going to pit. This is kind of a weird time for everyone to pit. Just right after the safety car here, as we are all heading into the pit lane, it looks like. Leclerc is obviously staying out, like I said, so he is going to have to stay another lap on the intermediate. No mistakes here, please. Oh no, not again. We get caught in the bad end of a double stack, and Lando has a wing replacement again. What is Lando? Oh, Lando's also caught in the bad end of a double stack here. Oh no. So all these drivers are going to pass us. We're down in P15. So this might pay off for Charles Leclerc. No. I think one of the Red Bulls, that's probably Max Verstappen, he is up in P4, it looks like. But it definitely is soft tire conditions, or slick tire conditions. Just need a little bit of time here to heat up these tires, but we don't have too much time. Down in P15, we got to make 5 places in 4 laps here. Thank goodness, the cars are kind of bunched up, so hopefully with our performance in this car, we can just plow through the grid here. But we need to use all the battery we got left on these last 4 laps of racing. We're a little bit behind right now, but it looks like there's traffic up there, a little bit of fighting. Another safety car. Actually, no, another safety car. I don't think that would do too much for us. That just cuts our time in half to try and get back in this race. Charles Leclerc in the pits now, so let's see where he comes out. He's probably going to have, or he's definitely going to come out in front of me here, because he is not on the bottom of a double stack, so maybe waiting for the first round of cars to go in was the right move. But let's see what we could do here. We got 4 cars in this little bunch up as there's a big traffic jam. I'm gonna slam on the brakes through sector 1 here. Not too much room for overtaking here through sector 1. Lando Norris goes wide. And let's see, we're trying to fight it for position. Gotta leave him space. And me and Lando just got screwed. We're both at the back of the grid here. Looks like Verstappen is leading this race. Charles Leclerc in P2. I think that is a Haas in P3. As the sun is now out. No DRS for these next 2 laps. I think we can get into the points here. We can overtake this guy, Yuki Tsunoda. Carlos Sainz going to defend. We're going to have to squeeze through the middle here. I don't know where to go. We just gotta go wide. Oh my goodness. We gotta beat Carlos Sainz. Just squeeze him out into P11. Now we gotta catch Lance Stroll. Try and salvage what we can out of this race. Try and get on. Trying to get points on the board. Alright, so we're gonna have DRS on Lance Stroll here to try and get into the points. Maybe we can overtake Granny Joe as well. That'll get us 2 extra points. But both Red Bulls are ahead of us right now. So by the looks of it, our lead in this Drivers' Championship is going to be reduced, and they are going to increase the gap here in the Constructors' Championship because I'm currently not in the points. We'll have 1 point. Charles Leclerc will score, I think, 18 if he does finish in P2. But one of the Red Bulls currently leading this race, so we're definitely losing in the points category here today. But we're going to try and minimize that damage here by overtaking Lance Stroll, getting into the points, a little bit of traffic up ahead. But we're going to get the run on Lance Stroll here. Hopefully there's a little bit of traffic up ahead that will allow us to get back into the points. As Lance Stroll is going on defense right now, but we're going to get the move done through turn 10. I think that's turn 10. But we are in the points now. We got Grady Joe up next with 1 and a little bit of a lap to go. I don't know if we're going to catch him, actually. He is quite ahead of us at the moment. Oh man, this is a horrible, just unfortunate series of events for us here in the USA once again. Just going to score minimum points here, try and minimize the damage. And we're on the last lap. Charles Leclerc currently battling for P1 with Max Verstappen. With 4 races left, well 3 after this one. Every point is crucial in this Constructors' Championship, but at least Charles Leclerc was able to salvage what he could out of this race. He actually moves up a spot just because his pit stop was timed a little bit better. Some teams decided to double stack. Ferrari on top of the strategy. They knew that some cars, like me, would get caught on the bad end of a double stack. Well, not really caught on the bad end of a double stack, but the teams in front of us would be double stacking, and we couldn't get out of the pit lane. But Max Verstappen wins the American Grand Prix. And I think that is going to help him tremendously in this Drivers' Championship. Grady Joe in P9. We're going to cross the line here in P10. Nothing I could do, just a bad situation. We got 1 point. Who knows? Maybe that 1 point will save us in the Constructors or the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen, driver of the day. Yeah, he started way back in the field, but I think he decided to stay out as well after that late safety car, or mid-safety car. Mick Schumacher finishes on the 3rd step of the podium. That just shows how much the safety car really shook things up in this race. People like myself, Lando Norris, I think even the Alpines maybe, just got caught in these weird double stacks where I couldn't leave the pit lane. Lando Norris couldn't leave the pit lane because there was another car, their own teammates, waiting behind them to get onto a fresh set of soft tires. But Charles Leclerc takes P2, also secures the fastest lap, so that plus my 1 point, we get 20 points. Unfortunately though, the Red Bulls score 29 points in this race, and that means they increase the gap between us and them to 22 points. So we're definitely still in contention for this Constructors' Championship. It's nowhere near safe for Red Bull. It's just going to be a little bit harder now. And I have been trash talking Mercedes quite a bit these last few videos. But with that luck and Lewis Hamilton coming in P6, he gets 10 points for the team, and they shoot up to P3 in this Constructors' Championship. Not by a lot. It is very tight in the midfield at the moment. Alpine drops all the way down to P6. McLaren drops down to P4 because McLaren and Alpine were scoreless in this race. So very unfortunate for a lot of people in this race, but other people are there to pick up the scraps, take advantage of whatever comes their way in these crazy races. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen shoots up to P2. He is now 10 points behind. So again, with 3 races left, both championships are still in the balance. Anything could happen. Something like this, we could still have failures in these next 3 races, so you never know. We have been leading the championship for quite a bit, I think, at this point, but again, at any point we can easily lose that lead. So we just have to go out there, have good performances, and just pray to God that nothing like this happens in the next 3 races. Otherwise we might be shit out of luck Ford Championship and have to go another season into season 4, possibly the last season before F1 23 comes out, in order to try and get our first Drivers' Championship here. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. As always, if you watched up to this point, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Just a very unfortunate race. I feel like I've said that 100 times in this video, but it's still true nonetheless. Just super unlucky. Hopefully we'll have more luck in the next race though, when we go to Mexico. I'm sure Sergio Perez will be looking to impress the home fans and try and claw his way back into this Drivers' Championship after Max Verstappen surpasses him to take P2 here in the USA. We got a few upgrades coming in that will definitely help us in these last few races. McLaren brought in a few upgrades to the USA, and that helped Lando Norris keep the lead of the race until the safety car came out. But if you guys are looking forward to the last few races here in Season 3, be sure to hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys.